Keto Connect is the largest and the most popular keto YouTube channel in the world. Today we're going to meet Matt and Mega, who started it, and hear how they inspire people to live a keto lifestyle. I'm Andreas Stenfeldt from DietDoctor.com, and I'm here with Mega Barrett and Matt Gedke from Keto Connect. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us.
So much fun to meet you, finally.
Yeah, it's great meeting you too.
So, yeah, I thought we'd just get started talking about your story. You built this quite amazing YouTube channel, super popular, 200,000 plus subscribers, and I don't know how many people watch it every day. How many? Must be
I don't really
tons.
know, but a lot. Yeah, I think we have over 10 million total views on our channel.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you just started this 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yep.
So how did this all start for you?
So the original idea was starting a food blog so we could give out our recipes because we cooked all the time. So why not share them for free? We'll see where it goes. And so then we created the YouTube channel simultaneously to drive traffic to the food blog. But we found out that a lot of people also liked watching us, watching what Matt eats, what Mega eats, and how we go about our day-to-day on a ketogenic diet. So they both took off separately, and so now we maintain both.
Yeah,
Wow.
we expanded the content for sure on our YouTube channel. It was originally just like recipes, basic stuff, but now we do more crazy stuff. We do like challenges, we do N of 2, since there's 2 of us, experiments.
Yeah.
And yeah, we just are really doing like a whole range of stuff as opposed to just recipe cooking related.
Right. Let's get back to that. I'm just curious, how did you get started? Why do you eat keto? How did you get into this whole thing?
It started, well, I've just always been pretty health conscious. I guess I played college basketball, and at that time I was not at all health conscious. I was like, drinking Coca-Cola, a 2-liter every single night after practice. And
That's not keto.
no, not at all. So then I was just going down the general path of nutrition. Like I was eating vegetarian diet for a while and just trying to hone in on what really worked for me. And then the real event that led me to keto was watching That Sugar Film. I don't know if you've seen that.
Sure, yeah. It's fun.
And not necessarily that it advocates for keto, but it points out how much sugar we're eating on a daily basis in healthy foods, like, yogurt, orange juice, things like that, like whole grain bread. And I really kind of calculated, and I'm like, I'm eating 200 grams of sugar a day. This is crazy. So if I cut out this one chemical that I'm eating so much of, how different will I feel? So we did that together. We kind of did it as a challenge. We just started dating at the time and felt great. I had a desk job at the time. I was a computer engineer, just like typing all day. So you really notice the difference when you're in that kind of profession where your focus, and the big thing is just the 2 o'clock crash that was gone, that was the worst part of the day because, right after lunch you couldn't get any work done.
No more crash, huh?
Yeah. So
That's
since then, I've basically just been sticking to it, but definitely improving and fine tuning it along the way.
Biohacking.
Yeah. And I was always fancied myself kind of a biohacker, like Dave Asprey, bulletproof guy.
Yeah.
He does a lot of that. So, yeah.
So, and you just started dating when you both started this, huh?
Yeah. So we were.
So how was it for you?
3 months dating, and I was like, I'll just jump on board. I love carbs, but I'll impress him. So I started doing it. And the first thing I noticed, aside from the focus, was the change in my menstrual cycle. It got a lot better. No cramping, no bloating, no cravings, I need to eat everything, and then the guilt of eating everything. And then, so all of that went away in the first month of doing a keto diet. So that for me was enough to stick to it. I felt just more balanced hormonally.
That's great.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So Keto Connect, I heard that there was a story behind this name. How did you come up with it?
Okay, funny story. We've never really told this story much, but I came up with it, I think.
Yes.
You approved of it.
Yes.
But basically, in the context of if you're going to sell drugs, but don't sell drugs. But if you're going to sell drugs, you need to have a connect, like the person who gives you the drugs to sell.
A connection.
A connect. So we are the Keto Connect. You're having trouble with your diet, you come to us, you get the recipes, we're the connect.
We hook you up.
For
Is
keto.
that going to be the official story?
I think so.
Now
I think
that
we
it's
just
out
gotta
there.
stick with it. But it has a dual meaning to where
now
also...
you can never come up with another story because
I know.
now it's out there.
Yeah.
People know.
That's true. But also we just connect. We're a good community, so
Yeah.
there's that too.
The keto community is incredible.
So you put out a lot of long YouTube videos now, right? Where you try to, I guess, people can just get to know you.
Yeah. We do a day in the life, so hanging out with us, day of eatings. We show you behind the scenes of running a YouTube channel, running a food blog, and then what we eat, how we like our workouts. So we want to show everything that goes into our day to day so people can see that it's not just the eating, but it's all the habits that surround that, right? You can't just eat well and then not go to the gym or not walk and not be active and expect to have a good lifestyle. So we just showcase everything.
Yeah, so much of the content out there is like just telling you how to do things, like you should do this because of this. And very little of it is like the practical application, which is what we do and we document on our channel. And I think that is just something that really helps a lot.
And then being relatable, making it approachable. Because a lot of people look at the keto diet as very restrictive, but it's not. There's so many things you can eat and enjoy and make, and we want to bring that to people.
So what is the hardest thing you think with the keto diet, and how can it be made more practical and simple?
Yeah, I mean, it's just such a drastic departure from the standard diet we eat nowadays as, you know, modern Americans.
You're breaking an addiction
Yeah, and, you know, it's
Addiction
tough.
to
sugar,
to
sugar.
carbs, yeah. To eating conveniently, eating tons of fast food. Or,
That's a big one, the convenience, because
Yeah.
keto foods generally aren't as convenient. They're not shelf stable. You can't just like grab them and go to the movies. You can't, you know. So that's one big hurdle. The social aspect of it is a big one too. We're all about like pizza parties at work, things like that. And that's kind of just the toughest. You have to be more, it's an extreme diet in a sense. You have to be more extreme about it. You have to take it seriously. And that's intimidating to a lot of people. And we think one of the biggest attributes we have is like making it more approachable.
yeah.
What are the most common questions you get when you try to help?
We get a lot of questions that are pretty common. Obviously, like I've been doing keto for a few weeks. How do I break through a stall? That's a big one.
So stall after 2 weeks.
Yeah, and that's very common because you know you lose a ton of water weight the first week or two.
You expect it to keep going.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So that's one. A lot of stuff. Just fasting is a big topic.
Fasting's huge.
Everyone's obsessed with does bulletproof coffee break my fast? Does black coffee break my fast? Just like all of those intricacies, which we generally just say like, why are you fasting? Like, what benefits are you trying to obtain from fasting? And then we can maybe better answer your question. What else do we get?
A lot of our questions, oddly, are, can I eat this? Or they're so specific, and our response is, if you want, like, right? I mean, you should make a decision for yourself, and they expect the YouTubers or, you know, you to tell them exactly what to do. And it's hard to work around that because you want people to make the decisions for themselves and to better their lives. But I mean, they just look to us as telling them exactly what to do.
People want to be given fish rather than learning how to fish for themselves is what we're kind of learning.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of it is just wanting specific details on certain things.
And then cholesterol is huge.
Cholesterol, which we just learned a lot. We saw the speech by Dave Feldman, which was great. So we have a little bit more information on that now we can share. But yeah, those are the big ones.
Yeah, we're learning every day too.
Right. So, what is the life, a day in the life of a YouTube stars like? I mean, maybe you're not the biggest stars on YouTube yet, but you only just started 2 years ago and you're pretty big already. So, how do you do it? How do you build this thing?
So
What's
I mean,
it like?
to build anything, consistency. So make laws like our laws at the start were 3 videos and 3 recipes every single week, no matter what. If there's like, you know, a medical emergency, we don't care, we're gonna do it. That's how we approached it.
Yep.
But let's talk about a day we'd wake up and vlog the day.
Okay.
So that's like camera in our faces at all times of day, right?
Yeah, basically wake up. Usually we like to do like a glucose ketone tests at some point throughout the day. People like to see where we're at with that.
Where are you usually?
Lately, well, we're doing something pretty strict right now where we're really reducing the carbs and doing a higher percentage of fat. So we've been like 3.5 ketones.
Starting, yeah.
And pretty low glucose, like high 50s, low 60s most of the time.
Do you think you need to be that high?
No.
So I can tell a little secret. I was at a dinner with a lot of famous keto or low carb people, and someone brought out a keto meter to test it, and it ended up everybody had between 0.5 and 1. So nobody was really high,
Yeah.
including me. Is that okay, do you think?
I think that is okay. I mean, everything's okay. It's mainly about how you feel and what goals you're going after. I will say, me personally, like if my ketones are a little bit higher up there, I definitely feel a little bit better, like more just stable and just energetic. But yeah, you don't need to be high at all. And actually, in listening to some of the speeches at this conference, the general rule that everyone will say on the internet is like 0.5 or above and you're in ketosis.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are saying like 0.2, 0.3 at this conference. Like we don't really know yet. We're still kind of learning all about this.
Sorry, I got you a little bit sidetracked because we talked about the day in your life, and you wake up and you test your glucose and ketones and show it, and then what?
Then we do this thing every morning where we do 9 minutes of Instagram Live at 9 a.m. People just ask questions, interaction every day. And then we go to the gym.
Yeah, we go to the gym. We'll always have a bulletproof coffee though before.
Yep.
We mostly consume fats until our first meal, which is probably like noon, 1, depending on the day.
That's something we've been doing for the past month or two, which we find really beneficial. Just fat fasting in the morning until you have a first meal around 1.
Yeah, it allows us to be more productive.
And and then basically we're like filming all of our meals. We're showing our meals. We're talking about them, kind of breaking down the macros, talking about like our strategy in a sense for the day.
Yeah.
And try getting some good shot. Like we have to go out of our way to get shots of things, like some B-roll, it can't just be boring you sitting in your house all day. So it actually does make us get out and do some stuff.
Yeah.
And then
Day in the life and you're just sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
Would not be great every day, I
That'd be
guess.
fun. But we do a lot of grocery shopping. Sometimes we'll go 3-4 times a day.
yeah.
And just recipes. Like I'll do 3 or 4 recipes in the day, and then we'll do food photography because we do everything for that.
So you do everything yourself?
Yes.
Every single thing that has ever been done for Keto Connect has basically been done by us too. Yeah. Building the website, all that stuff. So it's really, no 2 days are really the same. So like some days it's mainly, we like to categorize our days if we can. So like some days we'll just test a lot of recipes and have it all written down, and then the next day maybe we'll film those, the good ones that we came away with. Some days I'll just sit at the computer the entire day editing videos, like editing photos. She'll write blog posts. We kind of have segregated jobs where she does blog posts and podcasts, and I do like
Yeah, because you have a podcast as well, right? Not
Yes.
just YouTube and blog, and then you have a so you're busy.
We are very busy.
Tell me about the podcast.
So Keto for Normies is a podcast we have, and we started it just out of the idea because we wanted to get ourselves out there. We're like, oh, let's do a podcast. That'd be fun to sit around, drink coffee, and talk. But then we realized that that's the best part of Keto Connect because we're able to bring on individuals like yourself or Dr. Sarah Hallberg and interview them. And we don't have that knowledge. So we can bring knowledge to the table and share that with our listeners and just, spread the message, spread the good word.
It's the only thing we do where we get outside people for like added information. Everything else is just us creating and putting it out. But this is really nice because we actually learn.
Yeah.
And we're having you on in the future.
I hope so.
Absolutely.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
So, what's your most popular thing? Recipes or videos? What really has resonated with people, sort of?
Well, coming to this conference, we didn't know this, but every person, at least 90% of the people that recognized us and walked up to us said the sweetener video we've done, which is where we test, I think it was 8 or 10 different low-carb sweeteners. So it was like allulose, erythritol, stevia, aspartame, sucralose, xylitol. We tested blood glucose and ketones before and after, basically, just to kind of see what's going on. And we had some pretty cool takeaways from it, I would say. The big one was xylitol is pretty high impact on your blood glucose, and allulose we wanted to know about because that's like a new one that is in a lot of products, and it's pretty safe. Doesn't really mess with your glucose much.
Yeah, so a lot of people were like, "Oh, we threw out our xylitol after watching your video." I was like, "That's good. That's good, right?" Now you're learning and you're able to apply it, or you can test it for yourself. And I think that's what it encouraged people to do. It's like, oh, if I'm drinking an energy drink with sucralose or erythritol every day, I should test that and see if it impacts my body.
And another cool thing is maltitol. Everyone knows it's bad, right? But just how bad it is was interesting to learn. It's the exact same thing as sugar, basically. It had about 80% of the response as sugar.
So I'm gonna have to watch that video. I guess we'll try to put a link to it below this one. And,
I think that's a fan
sounds
favorite
interesting.
for sure.
But then our recipe videos do the best, like our chocolate chip cookies or our butter chicken. So I think people like that because it makes it doable, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people can't cook. And so then they're like, oh, I don't want to have to do a diet where I have to cook a lot.
That's another thing I'm realizing. A lot of people can't cook, which we kind of take for granted because we cook every single day, like nonstop. But like thinking back to college, maybe 1 or 2 of my friends cooked actively. And like kids our generation really are not cooking. They're going out and getting a lot
So how
of
do
food.
you eat keto if you're not cooking?
It's tough. But in the US, there's some good takeout options. You can get
Do you have anything to recommend?
Yeah, like Chipotle is probably the most healthy one, I would say. You
Yeah.
can get a salad bowl. They put like some meat on there, some guacamole. We get barbecue a lot. We have a good barbecue spot by our house that doesn't have sugar in the rub. And a cool tip you can do is if you go in the barbecue joint, you can check out the back. They usually sell the rub. So you
Yeah.
can check out the back of it and see if it has sugar in it. Most of them do, some of them don't. And then just like bunless burgers.
Yeah, bunless. So if you're not able to cook, don't focus so much about being perfect and like needing grass fed or organic. Just focus on staying low carb and doing the best you can. And I think that's the best advice we give because people see us and they're like, "Wait, is that grass fed meat? Do we need that?" And I'm like, "No, you don't need that. Do the best you can on the budget you have and make it work for you."
Yeah, Dr. Westman yesterday, he had a cool quote, which is like lowering carb intake is the first priority. Food quality should be the second.
Yeah. And we couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Right.
So, any final words for the viewers? Who should check out your channel? Who is it for?
I think it's for pretty much anyone. We just basically are doing all of these experiments on ourselves. So you can go out there and get the information of like, this is how it should work. But if you want to see us putting it to the test, maybe more like firsthand information, come check us out. Anyone who doesn't really know how to cook that well is looking to start keto. We have a really good 4-video series on how to start a keto diet, which I would say if you're just like super new, check that out.
And then every single day we do Instagram Live and we do YouTube Live and Facebook Live. So we're constantly engaging. So if you shoot us an email and we don't respond, definitely check out our lives and we hit every question we can.
Fantastic. So, it's Keto Connect on YouTube. It's ketoconnect.net.
Yes.
It's your blog, and you have Keto for Normies,
Yes.
the podcast,
Yep.
and some Instagram and Facebook and so on as well.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
So lots of stuff to check out. Thank you for the interview.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks so much.